G'day guys, it's Peter from my Bonzi channel, and I'm here today with this week's Laughaholics, and I think you're going to like this one. But before we get to that, you know the drill. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so down below. And once you've done that, click that bell and then select all so that you don't miss out on future videos. Alright, there was this rancher who died, and he leaves everything to his wife, who happened to be beautiful, strong of mind and determined. And she was determined to keep the ranch, but not knowing anything about ranching, she put an ad in the paper to hire a ranch hand. Unfortunately, it seemed the cowboys in the area didn't want to work for a woman, and only 2 people showed up for the interview. One was gay, and the other one was a drunk. She interviewed them both, and as no one else showed up, she decided to hire the gay guy, thinking that was the safer way to go rather than have the drunk hanging around. As it turns out, he was such a hard worker, and he worked long hours, and he knew a hell of a lot about ranching. They worked for weeks, and the ranch was coming out really, really good. So one day she goes to the hired hand, and she says to him, look, you know, I'm really happy with the way things are working out. You're a really hard worker. I think you should take the night off and go into town and kick up your heels. The hired hand had no worries with that at all. So that night he goes off into town. And then, you know, it comes to 1 o'clock and he hadn't come home yet. Then it's 2 o'clock and still no hired hand. Around about 2:30 he walks in and he sees the rancher's widow sitting by the fireplace with a glass of wine in her hand. She beckons him over. She says, right, now take off my blouse. With trembling fingers, he undoes one button at a time. He takes off the blouse and he puts it down. He says, right, now take off my boots. And so he gently takes off each of her boots and he lays them down. He says, right, now take off my socks. So tenderly he takes off the socks and puts them next to the boots. She says, okay, now take off my skirt. With trembling hands, he undoes the skirt and he takes it off and puts that down as well. She says, right, now take off my bra. While looking into her eyes and seeing the flickering flames of the fire in her vivid blue eyes, he unclasps her bra very gently, takes it off, and he puts it down. And then she looks up at him, she says, right, if you ever wear my clothes into town again, I'm going to fire you. And that's it, guys. I really hope you liked today's Laughaholics jokes. I have one of these every week. So if you did like today's, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, please share it with your friends. Don't keep it all to yourself. Share the love, guys. It's all good. So happy to have you here, guys, and I hope to see you next time. This is Peter from my Bonzi channel signing off. Catch you later, guys.